Hi again. So I know for some people, the most nerve-wracking part of an interview isn't really so much the interview itself, or the time leading up to an interview, or the questions that you're going to be asked. For some people, the most nerve-wracking part of an interview is what happens after the interview, because you don't know where you stand, you don't know how you did, and you don't know how to feel. I know that a lot of people can look into body language and kind of try to tell how they did based off of that. But I have three different signs that I feel like were the best indicators for me, that let me know, if my interview did or is going well, that I hope will give you some relief too. The first sign is if you're in an interview and your interviewer has stopped asking you questions about your experience or where you want to be 10 years from now or why you think you're a perfect fit for this company and has now moved on to not really asking you any questions at all. In fact, now they've moved on to talking about their personal life, like their hobbies, their favorite TV shows, their family members, the latest webcam that they bought that they absolutely love. This is a good sign because it shows that your interviewer is now so confident in your abilities and your skill and your match to the company that they no longer feel they need to ask you questions related to that. They're now so comfortable and so relaxed that they really just want to get to know you and just talk to you and tell you about themselves. At this point, I would say that yes, you do want to keep it very professional, but you don't need to sell yourself as hard. You do want to beef yourself up, if you can keep it very natural, but for the most part, I would say relax, go with the flow, and just ride the conversation. Just go wherever the interviewer wants to go. The second sign has to do with questions. Interviewers absolutely love it when you ask them questions. So if you're in an interview where you're the one asking all the questions and the interviewer is the one answering the questions, that's a really good sign because an interview is basically when the interviewer has a list of questions that they want to ask you to make themselves feel more comfortable about you. But when this role is reversed to where you're the one that's asking all the questions and they've pretty much just chucked their questions out the door, they're really more interested in answering your questions than asking their own. This is a good sign because, again, they feel very, very confident in your abilities that they don't need to ask you about it anymore. And what they're really trying to do is answer all your questions so that you want to join them. They want to tell you as much about their company and all the great things so that when they give you an offer, you accept it. So if you're in a position where you're asking questions and they're encouraging you to ask questions and they're feeling enthusiastic, consider yourself pretty good to go. Now, I will say, let's say your interview is not going very well, and you now have the opportunity to ask questions. I would say ask as many questions as possible because maybe you have a chance to turn it around. Maybe they're not really interested in your skills, but once you show them how interested you are in the company or how much research you've done, that might pique their interest a little more and it could turn the interview around. And so if I was in a position where my interview wasn't going well and I had this opportunity, that's what I would do. And the third sign that an interview is going well is when your interview is going past the allotted time. So let's say you were scheduled for a 30-minute interview, but you're now hitting the 45-minute mark or the 60-minute mark. That's a really good sign because the people that you're interviewing with have very, very busy schedules and they're very stressed and they have deadlines. So when they have a 30-minute meeting, they have a 30-minute meeting. It's not a 45-minute meeting. So for them to come into an interview with you and for them to go past that mark, that's a sign that they feel like you are a valuable investment of their time and they're wanting to make you feel comfortable and let you know that you're not rushed because they want to show that yes, this company is a good fit for you because they've already decided that they like you. If they don't like you, they're not going to waste their time past that 30-minute mark. They are just going to say, hey, it was really nice to meet you. Thanks for coming in. We'll let you know, the next steps if there are any. And that's it. So if you've hit any of these three in your interview or if you've hit all three, congrats to you. You're probably really good to go. I would say just relax and let whatever needs to happen. And you're pretty, just let it happen. So those are my three signs. I hope they give you some relief. And I will talk to you next time.